What's up, everybody? Just realized I have no idea what this live video is called. What is this live video called? Might just be Country Squire Radio's going live. I guess I'll find out in a minute, because I tend to get an email as soon as it goes live. Yeah, now live on your channel, Country Squire Radio, going live. Now live on your channel, going live. Guess we're just going live. How y'all doing? Y'all, it's been so hot. It's been crazy hot. It's been a summer for the record books. Our magnolia tree, as many in the Houston area, is kind of burning from the outside in, which is a rough thing. Rush, what up, man? Long time no see. It's hot. It's hot. It's difficult. This is not good pipe smoking weather. I know that's blasphemous to some of y'all because y'all are like every weather's pipe smoking weather. Look, when it's this hot, my goodness, it's hard to hold fire in your hands. But fortunately, right now we got a little bit of some shade going. I'll tell you how hot it is. I tried to. What was I smoking the other day? I was smoking some chickens. I was smoking some chickens, and my coal was burning up so fast that like I couldn't maintain the temperature just because it like the thing is an oven unto itself. It was like cooking the coals as opposed to the coals cooking anything. I tell you what, that's a good point, Russ. I know that some of y'all are dealing with that hurricane, so I don't envy you there. Hope y'all are doing all right and staying safe. But I got out here for enough time because it's cooled off for just a brief moment here. I've got about 5 seconds so I can actually enjoy my pipe. So I got my Tiberius. I'm enjoying a little bit of Sleepy Hollow in it, and I'm having some of this smoke wagon. Y'all had some of this smoke wagon? Uncut, unfiltered, all that kind of stuff. I gotta tell you, it's not my favorite. It's been an interesting bourbon to, it got a lot of hype, and it's very well dressed in terms of like the bottle and everything else. But man, oh man, it's not my favorite. It's got too much of like a charcoal type of taste to it. It's like they're doing too much with it, in my opinion. But that's just me. Other people might absolutely love it. Y'all, it's too hot. It's too hot in Houston. It's too hot in Texas. Guy can't smoke his pipe out here. So I've made a decision. I'm getting out of here. I'm leaving. Leaving Houston. Leaving Texas. Leaving the country. Leaving America. Going to Ireland. Like this weekend. For 2 weeks. Really excited about it. We're heading to Ireland for 2 weeks. We've been my wife and I have been wanting to take a little bit of a kind of a bigger, longer trip for quite some time. We had a long trip scheduled, international trip scheduled for Paris back in 2020. Something came up, and so we weren't able to go. And we've been trying to make it happen ever since then. And unfortunately, it it's just been like one thing after the other, and then finally Paris just became so tainted to us. No offense to anyone tuning in from France. It just I'd love to go at some point, but we're like, you know what? We're not supposed to be in Paris. That's not supposed to be our next trip. That's not supposed to be where we're going to go. We're not going to go there. So I was in Kentucky recently, relatively recently. See, this is the other thing. I blame the heat. I have to keep on lighting this thing. It's crazy. Although part of it is trying to light with one hand while doing the video. Oh, love some Sleepy Hollow. Ireland. So I was in Kentucky, And I was doing like hopping around, visiting some of the distilleries, mainly the Buffalo Trace, the big Buffalo Trace. If you've never been to Buffalo Trace, outside of Louisville, they're a distillery there. Mm, it's so cool. Plus, you feel like when you go in, it's like Jurassic Park. You can almost hear the music, like like it's kind of the trees are around and it opens up and you see all these like, these historic buildings that have been like housing these bourbons for decades, and it's awesome. It's so cool. Got back from that and I was like, man, would love to actually like visit some distilleries overseas as well. And so it was like, hey, we've been wanting to take this big trip. Let's go to Ireland. So that's what we're doing. We're heading to Ireland for 2 weeks. Want to kind of put it out here for a couple of reasons. One is um, just to see if any of y'all are from Ireland. If so, hit me up. I would love to do a meetup, or a big thing is I really want some recommendations on where to check out. We're going all over. We're kind of going. We arrive in Dublin, and then we're going to head south, and we're going to kind of go along the coastline, Galway, and Killarney, and a bunch of different places that I can't remember off the top of my head. And but I know we're going to try to hit up Skeeling Michael, where they did Last Jedi and I think Game of Thrones and that sort of thing. A couple distilleries along the way. There's an oyster festival going on in a small town while we're there. It's not the Galway Oyster Festival; it's a different oyster festival, but I'm really looking forward to that. There's a hat company out that way that my grandfather used to get his hats from, so I'm really excited to go there and spend way too much money on hats. And then of course Peterson. We gotta try to visit Peterson while we're there. I've got a contact with Peterson. It's going to be very much like the day that it'll be at the end of the trip, and so I'm going to hit him up that morning and see if we can kind of come by. We can come by one way or the other, but I don't know if the Country Squire radio cred will get me anywhere these days. But let's, hey, we hadn't been off the air that long, so maybe. So it'd be nice to pick up a pipe from Peterson at Peterson. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But yeah, would love some recommendations from y'all to see what I need to check out while over there. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be some good food. Got to do the Guinness. We got to get hit at the Guinness uh, uh, brewery, and yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. So I wanted to share that with you. I've been meaning to actually get on and share that because I wanted to kind of give a little bit of heads up that I was heading that way, just to kind of gather thoughts on where we need to check out. But it has literally been, I mean, I don't know where y'all are, but here in Houston, it has been so daggum hot. It's been so hot. We've got a pool, and we don't even want to swim in the pool because it's so hot. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy out here. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I've been neglecting the chat. Thank y'all so much for hopping on here real quick last minute like this. This is amazing. Ben, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you. Of course, Russ. Let's see. Live from the radio station. Oh yeah. Balmy. Hey, 70 degrees. I'd take it. It's 100 and something right now in Houston, but I have been like, this is what I've been doing. Like every single morning, I wake up, get my coffee, tell Alexa to start giving me the rundown and whatnot, and then I always ask her, "What's the current temperature in Dublin, Ireland?" And it's like 50 something degrees, and and raining, and it's like, I'll take it. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be so nice. Let's see. Groovin, gonna be in Vegas again this year. I won't. John David probably will. Would be my guess. Kenneth, when it's too hot, I have to switch to cigars. Yeah, here's the thing though. I just have not been feeling cigars lately. I love cigars, and like for the last couple of videos, I feel like that I've done, which has been a minute because weather, but have been mostly cigar videos. But like I've just been craving my pipe, and I think again part of that is that you get that like Irish mindset, right? As you start planning for the trip and you start laying out which pipes you're gonna bring, and I feel nervous because I'm bringing some of my nicest pipes on this trip, because like it's Ireland, you know what I mean? I want to show up and represent well, so to speak, and I want to be able to like enjoy those pipes in some of the most beautiful places and some of the most beautiful weather, and enjoy the best pipe weather I've seen in months, it feels like. So, but I'm nervous because there's some priceless pieces that are going to be tightly packed to make sure they get there without breaking. Let's see. Groovin, Smoke Wagon, yes, it's straight out of Vegas, and again, I mean, there's been so much buzz about Smoke Wagon, right? And it's very interesting story if you ever look into it in terms of like how they got their kind of their base. Uh, I don't know what they call it, but like the white dog they use, and it's not that it's bad. It's just it feels like it's too much. Like just for me, it's just a little bit too much. And I typically like heat and peat, but there's like I said, there's like a charcoaliness to this one. I mean, when they call it smoke wagon because of not because of its a smoky flavor, but because it's a reference to what to guns, to like back in the westerns, your 6 shooter, your smoke wagon was your gun, and so like that's what it's a reference to. But it also, perhaps ironically, perhaps not so, does have a very smoky flavor to it, which is not a bad thing. It's just too much for me. But that's why I wanted to pair it with the Sleepy Hollow specifically today. So you get the sweetness of the Sleepy Hollow, but then you get like that kind of like oomph with the Smoke Wagon, and it's actually a fairly decent pairing, I got to say. Ben, hoping we're enjoy the Emerald Eyes. I can't wait. Zach, hey, thanks so much, Zach, for tuning in. Miss being able to show up for you guys on a regular, but hopefully y'all been enjoying some of the older content, the classic content. I've been debating whether or not to do that for another year. I have to kind of be selective in some of those old episodes, and it takes a minute, but we might keep it going. We might keep it going. I haven't made a hard call on it yet. Uh, Smarty, thanks so much for joining. Let's see. I've actually never had it. It's not in Nevada. So this is interesting. I think it's readily available, but I would imagine if it's not in Vegas or if it's not in Nevada readily available, then I don't know where it would be because I mean it's a Vegas whiskey. It's quite good for Vegas to have a whiskey. But anyway, so yeah, wanted to hop on, share the plans, get excited, kind of get hyped with y'all a little bit about that. Say hello, let y'all know doing well. Um, just recently started. I've been very busy on some personal projects, some of which I think I've shared before. One major personal project is the big one. Um, but I am going to be rolling out once I get back from this trip. I'll be rolling out a new podcast that will be very. It's a vanity project. It's the kind of thing I tell people not to make, but I really want to do it. There'll be one of the earlier episodes. It'll be me and a guest host, and that guest host is somebody y'all are very familiar with. I think y'all will enjoy that episode. But there'll be more about that kind of thing coming in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for all that good stuff. Um, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, listen. We look Vegas was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and like I said, I think that John David. I mean, I can't speak for him, but I think that he should be there. We do keep up. John David and I still get together on a Zoom call on a monthly basis just to keep up. I think we kind of like the emotional goodbye of 500. He was like, yeah, I don't know that I'm ready to just kind of like call it quits like that. Let's be intentional about keeping the friendship up, and I was really. It's glad that he suggested that. So we've been checking in on each other on a monthly for about an hour, getting some whiskey and jumping on a Zoom call, checking in, hearing about each other's kids and lives and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, so he's doing well. Uh, yeah, that's about all I can share right now. Y'all, I hope y'all are doing good. For those of y'all who are too hot like I am, stay cool. For those of y'all that are dealing with all the crazy weather, stay safe. Put it in the comments if you're watching this not live but catching the video after the fact. If you're from Ireland, give me a shout out in the comments. We'd love to meet up. If you've been to Ireland or if you've got some recommendations for places to eat, places to enjoy your pipe, I would love to know. Just by all means, put it in there. But before I sign out, Russ is just writing. He says, if you're going, hang on. He says, if you're going to Dublin, make it a point to visit James Fox Cigar Whiskey Store on Graffin Street. Then absolutely I will. That's exactly what we'll do. Because Dublin, we're going to be there for like all of 5 seconds on the first day to pick up the car, and then we're heading down. But the last, I think we're in Dublin for the last 2 days of the trip. It's going to be like a big road trip type deal. But yeah, I'll definitely hit that up. All right, y'all. Stay good. Thanks so much for jumping on so last minute and everything else. Like I said, miss showing up on a more regular basis, but glad to do so when I can. Have a good one.